and you love Baylor athletics or follow them, it's a must deal. I'm telling you, like right now, there's some really interesting nuggets. The Fro by the staff that came out today on many things Baylor. So that's up, and so are various topics, recruiting, et cetera, and much more. So Craig asked this question, and I put it up on the site. 2011 and 12 was marked by the Heisman Trophy, a bowl win. 40-0 women's basketball won the national title. Men in the Elite Eight lost to Kentucky and Atlanta. Baseball won the regular season title. And I don't even know about some of the other things, but all 19 sports made the postseason. That's the standard. You have a men's basketball championship, which we know is huge. Football, though, was 2-7. That might be, as you guys mentioned, that might kill it. Men's tennis, if they win tomorrow night, that's a national title. I don't care how much, it's a national title. Which one of those two, to you, which one of those to you is the best athletic year? Softball's down 1-0, but they're in the national tournament. Golf.
I mean, here's the thing. Would you rather, it's not exactly a comparison. Okay, so the one national title that year was women's basketball. Is that correct?
Yes.
So one team won a national title? Okay. So, I mean, again, I go back to national championships. If you win a men's national championship in tennis and men's basketball and then A&T as well, I don't know, man. Those matter more than anything else to me. And so, yes, like consistently across the board. Okay, like here's the deal. It's kind of like that question you ask of would you rather win a national title and then be average for 15 years or be good every single year? I'd rather win a national title and then just be like in the middle for 15 years because you can say you won a national title. I look at this kind of the same way. Would you rather be good in all sports and win one title in women's basketball, or would you rather have some more fluctuation, but you win 3 national championships as a result, and one of them is in men's basketball? That's kind of how I'm viewing this.
No, and we got a text on this. We'll read it in just a second, 254-339-1122. I'll put me personally in the mix. I want national titles because I don't think any of my favorite football team is going to win one maybe ever again before I die.
Yeah, well, you got to see a few of them.
I've got to be alive for 5 of them and got to be in person for one of them, and then and they came in clumps. But, man, it was always nice to know you were 11-1, 10-2. You had a chance. You were always knocking on the door. But, no, it became such a thirst. And I know, Paul, you feel the same way about that. From Gunny, go ahead.
I'll just tell you, 2013, personally, the Red Sox won the World Series, Florida State won the national title in football, and the Spurs won the NBA title.
No, we're talking about college.
So, I'm talking about that. I'm getting there. Let me get there. I'm getting there. So personally feeling that feeling as a sports fan of all the teams winning the number one thing, yeah, I get that. So I might have to amend my position on this because I remember that year and thinking like, oh my gosh, the title that's just that feeling I felt 3 times in 1 year. So I don't know if it would have compared to a year that like all my teams were just really good.
But take away just college football as a Florida State fan. You've experienced national titles. Would you rather win those every 10 or 15 years or be how they were up until they won one finally when they were always damn good, really good, and they just couldn't beat a Miami or someone else? Because I'm telling you, I'm going through a stretch now. I'm sick and tired of 5-7, 4-8. It's awful.
Yeah.
Let's say
awful. 5 years ago, I'd answer this question differently, but...
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking of like an Iowa State in football. Like, let's say they don't win a Big 12 title in the next 5 years, but they win 8-9 games every year. I'm sure because their history, like that would be satisfying. But you mean to tell me they're not going to go like, we didn't win one damn Big 12 title in this entire deal? Like we won 8-9 games every year. We didn't win one single championship. That's what I'm coming back to. Yeah. Is the titles matter.
Mm-hmm. I'm a Packers fan, and what we have done with Aaron Rodgers in terms of titles, just one, it hurts. And
But you're good every year.
Yeah, we're good every year. Yeah. And it hurts that much more. Right. Every year we fall short. So honestly, getting those titles, it's big.
I think I would take one now that I've experienced the 30, 40 years of greatness and then titles to this crap for the last 10 years. Gunny, men's national title is so much more than Big 12 titles or any women's basketball title.
And I agree with that, and it's not a knock on the women. It's reality. Just look at all the numbers, the figures, the ratings, the everything that entails that. And that's just bottom line facts. And I wonder, and this is why I'm glad that we're getting some response to it, because I think that the more you think about it, you're like, oh, wait a second. But if RG3's Heisman's not in the conversation, but football's still really good, I think that's like the hook in the comparison. Like more so than just all the sports being average to good or being like good across the board. I think that Heisman by Robert is like that asterisk on the year of the Bear, because that was so special. And for a football program that really had very little to brag about over their history outside of, a few good years here and there. I mean, that was like a guy from Baylor winning the Heisman.
Yeah.
So I think if you eliminate that, which you don't because it's part of it, but I think this actually goes more towards this year. I think that Heisman's kind of what keeps it so close, more so than the actual football success. Does that make sense?
Yeah, 770. We might go back and forth, and all of us change our mind over the next 10 or 15 minutes.
It's not a true or false answer.
Yeah.
I mean, it's whatever your opinion is.
From the 770, thank you for the text. Definitely the year of the Bear, although the year of joy has been amazing. You've talked about Cowboy issues. You mentioned about backup quarterbacks. Bryce Petty, no, he's been out for a long time. His career ended 3 or 4 years ago.
I thought last I saw him, I don't think he wasn't lamenting it either. He was happy and
the year
he was ready
of the
to move
Bear,
on.
and it would be called the year of joy.
I do like that. I like that year of joy.
If there was a book written, or there's any kind of a coffee table book like there was Year of the Bear,
Who wrote that?
770. I don't.
770. Go copyright that real quick.
Yeah. What's that?
Go copyright that real quick. 770.
Yeah. Hey, go get
there.
that, because that would be a hell of a name of a book, and it might still be that.
No, that's a good title. I like that. And yeah, I mean, the great thing is that you can have 2 seasons or 2 years like this where there is a comparison to be made, and I think that's great. I think that's and you think about it, the year of the Bear was kind of a long time ago now at this point.
10,
I mean, we're
almost
closing
10 years
10
ago.
years.
Yeah.
So that seems like probably for a lot of people, even for me, I wasn't even here yet, but I got like the tail end of it, and I still, feels like it was yesterday in a way. So, just curious, and more thoughts are appreciated, but this was all hinged too on men's tennis taking care of business tomorrow.
On the board, some of the responses: but it's close. Football drags it down. Baseball had more excitement. That changes with a College World Series appearance. I would add to your list from Boo-Ray. I would add to your list that 11 and 12 was the first time we had sort of across-the-board success. That was always special. Barricade, 11 and 12 blows away this year. Those are some of the responses.
Blows away.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know about blowing it away.
I don't know how you blow away a men's national.
In order of importance is football, men's basketball, and then if you're like UConn or others, or Kentucky and et cetera, right? North Carolina, even though football would be great, it could be the other way around.
Okay, but if you move to other schools, it's different. So if you went to an LSU, it's football, men's basketball, baseball,
track and field, gymnastics, et cetera.
Yeah, those things. So like it's different. Whatever the third sport's different everywhere. Look, Florida's big. Like Florida is football, men's basketball, baseball. And then everything else kind of falls in a varying array. I mean, they're huge fanatical baseball fans in Gatesville. And then like I said, there's some that women's basketball is the third sport. Here's one of those, or women's basketball is the third. And then other places is a different thing. I don't know what it is at Stanford. I mean, Stanford's got 78 sports. So
can you imagine if you try?
It could be rowing. I don't know.
I don't know if they've ever won a football national title. They've had Heisman Trophy winner with Jim Plunkett, and they've had number 1 draft picks overall. With luck, and I don't know if Plunkett was the number 1 pick overall.
They've had some really good basketball teams throughout.
Elway.
Yeah. Women's basketball is huge at Stanford.
No, they won a title first time in a while, but yeah. Stanford just chews them out and spits them out, and they have all those particular sports as well.
Stanford, and this is something I hate about college football. I really do. I wish there was a governing body that could actually sort this out, so you didn't have Auburn and A&M claiming faulty titles. But Stanford claims 2 national championships in football from 1926 and 1940. So, yeah. A lot of schools claim things in college football, and that is not something I enjoy.
1926, you had to, there weren't necessarily phones in the press box to verify what was going on.
No,
it's
it's like Florida and A&M, and I've seen other schools do this. The national titles they're claiming are not the AP, or they're claiming the UPI. And
that was legitimate.
Okay, well then they're claiming some other lettered thing.
Right.
It was like a magazine that you could only buy on Sundays twice a year, but they claimed national championships. So it's like, hey, we're national champions.
It's like the New York Times had a national championship, or Dunkel Index, or whatever.
And then teams with losses claiming national titles too. It's like you didn't even beat the team that won the title, but you're claiming the title. It's so stupid.
A&M took, when they were redoing Kyle Field, they put one of those up there. They might still list it, but they put one of those up there, and their fans that go into that side of the stadium got so pissed about it. They're like, this is embarrassing.
Yeah,
congratulations.
Take it down.
Yes, exactly. It is embarrassing. It's dumb. It's you're claiming a title that you didn't claim all that time, and all of a sudden, because Auburn's putting up 3 extra ones that are all garbage, then you're going to pop up another one next to 1939? No, don't do that.
And the thing, if you're going to claim 26, that one's tough to historians said you'll have to have some guy in a stack of books dusting it off.
I can't remember the first true college football national title. But those guys counted.
Yeah. No. I'm not saying they don't. 26 is going to be hard for us to all dispute because, the records weren't as well kept as they are. But one of Auburn's is from 2000. Or 1999 or something that.
So it's title, yeah.
Yeah, they threw that one up there dude, no one voted you that. No one did.
But 20 years later, all of a sudden it counts.
It counts. No one did. It wasn't the 1899 national title. It was the 1999 national title. There were television cameras.
Now, you've also said this, and it's a great discussion, but the Ivy Leagues dominated college football for the first 30 or 40 years. And hey, and Michigan's thrown in there on occasion, or somebody, LSU, 1908, whatever, Georgia Tech. So those count.
No, I'm saying they count. What I'm saying is, if Stanford wants to claim one from 1926,
okay,
that wasn't what are our historical records with sports back in those days? Especially college sports that weren't as big a deal as they were now. My point is, it'd be hard for us to dispute that. You say you won in 1926, there could have been a governing body or somebody who gave you one. That's fine. You're Stanford. I guarantee you've got a guy in a library that can prove it more than I can. But if Auburn, and you've got the balls to say that we won the 1999 national title, dude, it was on TV, man.
In 1936, they started honoring the Associated Press national title. There was one.
It was the final poll was still voted on before the bowl games.
Yes, and then they added the UPI, which came in after bowl games. That's why you have split championships. Of course, everyone looks at 97, Nebraska, Michigan, and a couple of others. But the split championships, for example, in 1970, Nebraska and Texas, Nebraska won because they won their bowl game. Texas lost, I think, to Notre Dame that year. I believe it's Notre Dame or whoever, but they were the regular season national champions. You don't do that anymore. So and then some just win all of them across the board.
Here's what Auburn did. Auburn used an NCAA-recognized retroactive polling system, so basically polls that don't matter and haven't mattered in years and years, to claim the 93 title. Which was Florida State. Mm-hmm. So Florida State won the 93 title, but Auburn, because some random poll said that they won the title.
In 93 or in 2000?
In 1993.
A year they had a postseason ban.
Yeah, they're claiming a national title.
They were undefeated. That's kind of like that's like Central Florida.
They're claiming the title a year they had a postseason ban.
Undefeated, did not play for the national title, but they claim the national title. That's what Auburn does. Auburn also, while claiming the national title, which they never played for in 1993, also claimed the 1913 national title because they needed 80 years to figure out that was theirs, and the 1983 one as well. Most people consider Harvard to be the 1913 national champions, and so it goes on and on and on.
Miami won 83.
Miami was consensus 83, and Auburn's claiming that title. They're claiming 2 titles that another team clearly won and putting it on banners like they've won multiple. That's garbage,
83 was Miami's. That was Miami's breakout. That's what the start of the storm was for them, man. I mean, that was Howard Schnellenberger and the state of Miami and everything that he did.
Here was their 93. They claim that they won the national title because they finished in a 3-way tie with FSU and Nebraska in a poll by the National Championship Foundation.
That
was their reasoning.
That was a bad. That's a
garbage.
The New York Times,
garbage,
the Dunkel
Auburn.
Index, Sagarin ratings, whatever. The last time there was a split title was in 2003. This was after they had the BCS. LSU and Southern Cal split the title. LSU was named the BCS champion. They beat Oklahoma, I believe, that year. Southern Cal was the Associated Press title winner. Then, and that's well after they went to the BCS. I didn't remember that. I remembered Southern Cal was it. And then it was basically, it's been solo now forever, since 2004, when Southern Cal won, the one that they vacated.
And I'm fine with claiming if you won one of those two polls, because those were the two polls that matter. But don't 50 years after the fact claim a poll that's not even in existence anymore and say that all of a sudden that's your title or you're in a three-way tie. If you're under NCAA sanctions, you are not claiming national championships. But that's very SEC, very Auburn to do. So
well, because if that's the case.
Didn't Oklahoma State just recently claim a title in 46?
Yeah, they did that as well.
In 1974, Oklahoma might have been on probation, but they won one of either the UPI or the AP and USC with John Robinson. I think it was John Robinson at the time, or maybe it was still with McKay. I can't remember which one. But they were unbeaten. But one of those polls, not both, if you were on probation, you could not be called the national title, but they were voted in. That was still about the time you could still be in that position, because that's what happened then. But now you're on probation, you're done. You don't win the whole thing and you're the only one left, you're done. There's